Good evening, everybody. Happy, let me get out of something real quick. Happy Tuesday Night Live. Tell me what you're doing. Tell me how your week is going. This week is a bit more predictable, it seems, than last week because I don't have a sick kid, which is nice. So, tell me how you're doing. Tell me how you're doing. Tell me what you're up to. And tonight we're going to be talking about 4 things that your website absolutely needs to convert your website visitors to paying customers, paying clients. So let me pull up my notes here real quick. Tell me hi if you're watching the replay, if you're watching the live. So I always give you guys a chance. This is a new thing that I'm doing, is share this video, and every first of the month I will draw a name from the people who have shared the videos to win a free logo. Totally free logo. So if you share any of my videos to your followers, you have a chance to do that. So welcome. So your website should be your main tool to get you sales. It should really act as your #1 employee and your salesman. It should be literally an extension of you. So people only buy from those they know, like, and trust, right? It takes a while to get to the place where they trust you. So social media is not really a place to sell on. Facebook and Instagram and all of that is actually made to build relationships. And so social media is a really great tool for your business to market yourself for free and paid, but it's not to sell on. So it's to get to know those people. It's to build those relationships with people, and it's to lead them to the platform that you do sell on, which is your website. So your website should literally be an extension of you when you can't be there. So it stands there for you, leading people to what you want them to do and leading people to buy with you. So your website should be making you money. You only have a few seconds to get people to stay on your site, to have them decide if they're going to hit the X at the top or if they're actually going to see if you can help them. So there's 4 things that you absolutely need to have on your site to get people to stay on your site and become a paying customer. So every visitor, I want you to think of every visitor on your site as a warm lead. Someone's watching right now, and I want to tell me who you are, because Facebook doesn't tell me, so say hi. Because I like having a conversation with you live. But so I need you to think about every visitor that comes to your site is a warm lead. Your website is made to grow that trust factor, right? So it needs to answer the questions they have. It needs to create the feel that you are the person for them. So people hire website designers not to just save them time to build your website. Hey, Danny. Oh, hi. I'm glad it's you. How are you doing? But we need to have, sorry, I lost my place with saying hi. So people hire website designers not just to save them time or to make their website look good, but to literally make it their main selling strategy, to make it their marketing for them, to make sure that it doesn't just look pretty, but it's actually leading people to their email list, it's leading people to buy with them, and it's leading people to follow them. So the first thing that you absolutely need on your website is you need a responsive site. You need it to be responsive to all different devices. And what that means is it looks good on phones, it looks good on tablets, it looks good on computers, because believe it or not, nowadays more than 80% of anybody who views your site is actually on a phone. And so your website, we've all encountered those really old websites, right, that were built in 2000, and like you have it on your phone screen, and to view the information, you literally have to scroll over to the side and down because it does not shrink up to your phone screen. And it's really annoying if you don't have to be there to like pay a bill or something, like you exit, because nobody has time to scroll like that. So think about what you're doing when you typically are on other sites. Like for me, I'm typically relaxing on my phone, and Facebook leads me to a site or Instagram leads me to a site. And so most of the time when I am on someone else's site, I actually am on a phone. So that statistic seems to be really true to me. So 80% of your visitors, their phone. So you have to make sure that your website looks as great as it does on your desktop big computer screen as it does on a phone. So it needs to look just as good on a phone as it does on the desktop. That's what I'm trying to say. So, and just because you built your website in Squarespace or WordPress or Wix, whatever, that does make it responsive for you, you still need to check it out. So after this Facebook Live, I would encourage you to look side by side your website on a desktop and a mobile screen to make sure that when it did shrink down, words aren't hyphenated weird, or things aren't too big, things aren't too small. Make sure that it flows well, because the majority of your visitors are actually going to be on their phone. So the first thing that your website absolutely needs is it needs to be responsive to all different devices. The second thing is it needs to be user-friendly, right? So it needs to have not only a simple navigation at the top for them to be able to find the information they need right there and then, but it needs to also have a layout that works as like a visual guide, because you can't be there when people are on your website saying, oh, you can find that here, click this link, then click this link, then go to this page and find that. And so it's really important that your layout can stand alone. It can stand without you. It can be its own guide. It can lead them to where you want them to go, to where they need to go, and give them the information that they're looking for. People come to your website already as a warm lead. They already are interested in what you do. They want to know more. They want to know if you can help them. And you need to tell them all this information up front. You need to be answering questions like any questions or hesitancies that they might have. Make the atmosphere really, really easy for them to choose you. You need to, first of all, capture their attention with a beautiful layout, with a beautiful website, and then also keep them there long enough to be like, okay, this is the girl for me. This is who I want to hire. This is exactly what I need, exactly what I want. If you have a ton of text to read through, and it's not skimmable, it's not easy to pull out information that they're looking for, nobody has time for that. Nobody wants to read, like, as sad as it sounds, nobody wants to read your life story when they go to a website. They do not want to have paragraphs and paragraphs of text to read. They want to be able to pull out bits and pieces to answer their questions really quickly. And I see that I have a question real quick. Danny says, I always forget to do that when I make an edit. Then like a day later, I'm like, oh no, I hope no one saw this. I think you're talking about making sure that it looks good on a mobile site too. And it's so true. Like, you really do need to constantly be thinking about that with every update and new thing that you put to your website. It needs to look good on mobile too. Actually, more importantly, it needs to look good on mobile than it does on desktop. And this is actually something that I can sometimes forget to do with my own website just because I'm so busy with doing other stuff. And then like when I am on my own site, I'm like, oh, I need to go back and make sure that I like take that hyphenation out on the mobile app, or, you know, make this smaller so that it fits right. And so I would definitely encourage you guys to, yes, go after this live, go look at your website and compare it side by side on desktop and phone. A lot of people don't even own a desktop computer anymore. How crazy is that? So I actually like my desktop so much better than my phone. If I have something to comment on, I would so much rather do it on my desktop because I can just type on a keyboard so much faster. But okay, so the third, finishing that up, make sure that your content on your website is skimmable. Make sure that your navigation is really easy and they are able to understand it. There's not too many links at the top. And if it's overwhelming, they will hit the X at the top, because even if they may be interested in your services, unless they are so interested, they're not going to take the time to read through it all. And a lot of times people won't even reach out to you. So you need to make sure that your website is standing there for you as an extension of yourself. So the third thing that your website really needs is it needs to be memorable. Now, there's so many different avenues that you can go about this, but people remember things that are one of a kind. They remember things that don't look like anybody else's, that are custom. They remember things that make them feel like they are a part of something, make them feel special. And so it needs to look, your website literally needs to look downright awesome. Like, it needs to look like one of a kind, because that's what's going to create this experience that is memorable. They're going to remember you. They're going to remember your face. They're going to remember what you do more than somebody, if you have a website that looks like everybody else's. And so you can do things like have robot messengers on your website that pop up if they're there for like a certain amount of time, and like answer their questions personally. You can, make the experience fun by doing some, I don't know, you can have like a video that they interact with. You can have fun little icons that are only custom to you, that only you have. You can have like quizzes to take. You can make, there's different things that you can do that makes your website one of a kind, that makes it memorable. Your website is an experience, a really big experience that they have of your business. And so I don't know if you guys have ever experienced those websites where there's like an interactive user face. Like, you can click on things, and depending on what you click on, like other things come up, and like it's like an interactive quiz, I guess, but it's like one of a kind to that website, and it makes you feel really special. It makes that experience really fun, and you almost want to go back to their website again. So think about different ways that you can be using things like this in your own website that makes your website memorable. You don't have to go as big as that, because obviously that takes a lot of coding and software and development and stuff like that. But there's things that you can do to make sure that you stand out differently from other people. I was on the phone with a gal like last month or 2 months ago, and sometimes people hop on the phone with me and they've actually never viewed my website. So I asked her, I said, have you viewed my website? Because I wasn't sure if she had or not. And she was like, yeah, I distinctly remember your website because of the, she like named the colors in my images, and like that just like stood out to her because it was different than everybody else in my industry. So it doesn't have to be something super huge, but you do want your website to be memorable. It's an experience, and you want them to feel like they are wanted. So the last and most important thing that your website needs, this is crucial to getting paying customers, is having a lead magnet. A lead magnet is when it's called opt-in, freebie, there's different terms for it, but it's basically something that you give away for free in exchange for someone's email address. So you can give out a checklist, an ebook, an e-course, whatever it is, but once I give you your email, or once they give you their email address, they are able to get access to this freebie, lead magnet, opt-in, whatever you want to call it. And the reason why you need to make sure this is on your website is because there's a small percentage of people who are actually ready to buy now when they get on your website, because that trust factor has not been built, and all their questions haven't been answered, and maybe they need to talk to their husband, maybe they need to find answers to their questions. They need to find the money. They need to look at all their options. And so if you are letting them hit the X without getting a way back in front of them, you are literally handing them over to the next person that can do the job, because they're going to forget about you. They're going to look at all their options, and if the last option they look at is good, they will probably not remember all the other ones. That's just the most recent one in their mind, and they're going to pick them. So you need to make sure that before they hit the X, you get their email address so that you can be showing up in their inbox on a weekly basis with value, showing up, answering their questions that they might have, showing them that you are the expert, and you're building that relationship with them. You're building that trust factor, and so when they are ready to purchase, you are in the top of their mind. They're gonna pick you, because you made that atmosphere really easy to choose you. And so you not only need to have a lead magnet somewhere on your website, but you need to make sure that it's the main goal of your website, one of the main goals. So there's different goals, obviously, but your website needs to speak and be laid out in a certain way to reach those goals. So a few of my goals personally for my website is to get people on the phone with me, because I can close deals on the phone way easier than a picture and post on Facebook. So I try to get people on the phone with me. I get people on my email list, and I get people on my sales page. And those are like the three main goals. Also, like I try to set myself up as the expert, obviously, by having like a blog with really valuable content. But all of those things are leading to paying customers. So just having a lead magnet alone is not going to work. You need to make sure that your website is laid out to where they see the lead magnet, to where it's like a really, like something that they really, really want, and it's in multiple places. So sometimes people have to be following you for like 6 months to a full year, and then they are like finally ready to purchase from you. So you have to remember that just because they visited your website and didn't buy right there and then, they could still be buying later on. So you need to get them on the list, on your email list. If you guys don't have a lead magnet, drop a 1 in the comments, and I will think about doing a Facebook Live about that, because there's so many easy things that you can make as a lead magnet. So those are the 4 things, and out of review, I will go through them again. So the first one is you need to have a responsive website. It needs to look good on your phone, tablet, desktop. Most people are looking at your website on their phone, and you need. I cannot talk tonight. You need to make sure that it looks good on every single device. If not, they're going to hit the X. If they have to scroll sideways, no one has time for that. Second thing is, it needs to have easy navigation, it needs to be user-friendly, and have a really nice layout to direct their eye, to be in place of you, like act as their guide. They shouldn't be overwhelmed. They should know exactly where to go, draw their eye where they need to go. The third thing is, it needs to be memorable. It needs to look different than everybody else's. It needs to have something special about it that makes them feel like she cares so highly about the experience I have with her. She must do quality work. That's what they're going to subconsciously be thinking. If your website is overwhelming, it looks like you didn't put much thought to it, and it looks like everybody else's, they're literally going to feel like, subconsciously, they're going to feel like a number. They're going to feel like that's how you treat your clients. And so our website really needs to be an extension of the quality of work and who we are. So the last and most important thing is you need to have a lead magnet. You need to have a way to get them on your email list, so that when they do hit the X and they haven't bought yet, you can nurture them on a weekly basis with lots of value, lots of content, and build that trust factor right in their inbox. Because that, you know that they're going to be seeing your email. You don't know if they're going to be seeing your Facebook posts. Only 6% of your posts, 6% of your lists or your Facebook following actually see your posts. That's a really, really small percentage because Facebook owns Facebook, but you own your email list. They are giving you permission to pop into their inbox, and so you know that they are going to be seeing it. So your email list is way more important than any Facebook following, any Instagram following, and that should be one of your main goals of your website. So if you do all of these things and you're constantly leading people to your site, then your site can literally be the biggest tool to get sales in your business. And that's what I have for you guys tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed this month of Facebook Lives. We talked a lot about websites. Tell me what questions you have, what you would like me to do lives about. And then also remember that every time you share one of my lives, you get entered into a drawing for a free logo. At the beginning of each month, I will draw a name. So share this Facebook video if you think that it would be useful to other entrepreneur friends. And I will see you guys next Tuesday. I'll be announcing the schedule for next month's Facebook Lives soon. So stay tuned. Bye.